All right, everybody, welcome back. Time for another deep dive where we take all this crazy research, all these interesting topics, and boil it down to the good stuff.
That's right.
Just for you.
Yeah.
So today we're diving into something called Samjae.
Samjae.
Yeah, it's a traditional Korean belief, and get this, it's all about cycles of misfortune.
Ooh, misfortune.
Yeah, I know. Our source material today is this really interesting episode from a KoreanCulture podcast. It's called Hyene.
Okay.
And get this, it says there's this 3-year period, right, in everyone's life that's supposedly like just packed with challenges.
Oh, no.
And it's all based on your birth year.
Okay, so this is kind of like, I know you've talked about like astrology and stuff before on the show. Is this like tied into that at all?
You know, it really is. It's all based on the Korean Zodiac.
Right.
Which is very similar to the Chinese Zodiac.
Gotcha.
You know, like with the 12 animals and all that.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely intrigued, but I got to say I'm also maybe a little nervous now.
Yeah.
So could you maybe like break this down a little bit more for us? Like what exactly is Samjae?
Yeah. So Samjae literally translates to like 3 years of calamity, which, you know, sounds kind of scary.
Yeah.
It is this belief that every 12 years you go through this 3-year cycle.
Okay.
Where you're believed to be just more susceptible to hardships.
Oh, okay.
So these hardships could be, you know, health issues or problems with relationships or financial setbacks. It could be anything, really.
So basically it's like this predestined rough patch, like you just said.
Yeah.
But it's all based on when you were born.
Yeah, pretty much. Your birth year determines like your zodiac animal.
Right.
And then each animal has its own like designated Samjae years.
Okay.
And it's a recurring cycle, so it's not like you just go through it once and you're done.
Oh, great. So multiple times.
It's like it keeps every 12 years, you know, you hit another Samjae.
Oh, fantastic. Something to look forward to. All right. So who is up for this cycle of misfortune in 2025?
Let's see. In 2025, it's going to be the year of the snake, the rooster, and the ox.
Okay.
So if you were born in any of those years, then buckle up.
Oh, boy. That's a lot of people heading into a potentially tough time. Hold on, though. Does this mean, like, they're just doomed for 3 years? Is there anything they can do about it?
No, not at all. I mean, it's like you said, it's rooted in tradition.
Right.
But it's not about, like, passive acceptance.
Right.
There are things you can do. You can be proactive about navigating these years.
Okay, I'm all ears. Like, what kind of steps are we talking about here?
Well, one of the big things is preparation. The idea is that if you can, like, you know, address any kind of issues or potential problems before your Samjae year even begins, then it might actually help, like, mitigate difficulties. For example, let's say you've been putting off, like, I don't know, a difficult conversation with someone.
Right.
You know, maybe now's the time to have it. You don't want to let that, like, fester.
That's really interesting. I can see how, like, clearing the air beforehand could help prevent things from, you know, maybe blowing up during a stressful time.
Yeah, exactly.
Are there any other strategies we can use?
Yeah. Another important one is the idea of moderation.
Okay.
So it's usually advised to kind of avoid like excessive ambition or taking on too much during those Samjae years.
Gotcha.
Like, for instance, let's say you're a rooster, you're about to enter your Samjae year.
Right.
And you tend to, like, you know, overwork yourself, maybe push yourself too hard.
Yeah.
It might be a good idea to be a little bit more mindful of your workload, you know, prioritize self-care.
So it's not like, you know, shying away from opportunities or anything, but just being strategic about things.
Exactly.
Not pushing yourself to the absolute limit.
Yeah, pacing yourself.
Makes sense.
And this actually kind of leads into the next tip, which is all about, like, mindset.
Yep.
You know, it's really easy to kind of go into these 3 years and be like, oh, no, everything's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
But I think the idea here is to actually try to, like, flip that script a little bit. Think of these years as a chance to grow, to build your resilience.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's face it, challenges happen in life no matter what.
Yes.
And maybe Samjae is just kind of like a cosmic heads up, like, hey, you might need to dig a little deeper during these times.
It's kind of like a cosmic reminder to, you know, buckle up and be ready for whatever life throws at you.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, focusing on the positive definitely sounds a lot better than just, you know, resigning yourself to bad luck.
For sure.
So, you know, we've been talking about this whole belief system, and it sounds like it's been passed down through generations. But it also sounds like it still has, like, real cultural significance in Korean society today.
It really does. Yeah, even in 2025, it's still a thing.
What's really fascinating is the podcast mentions that some people even participate in, like, rituals.
Yeah.
Or they carry around talismans for protection during their Samjae years.
I know, it's so cool, right?
What are those talismans exactly?
So talismans, they're basically objects that are, believed to have protective or lucky properties.
Okay.
They can be anything. They can be little charms you wear on a bracelet or intricate symbols you hang up at home.
Mm-hmm.
And specifically with Samjae, people might actually carry talismans that are connected to their Zodiac animal.
Wow.
As just a little bit of extra, insurance.
So it's like this tangible way
Yeah, exactly.
to feel a sense of security and maybe even control over these potentially challenging times.
Totally. And it's just really interesting how, even these ancient traditions can still have such an impact on people's lives today.
Right.
In such a tangible way.
It really highlights the power of those beliefs and practices.
For sure.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground here today. Yeah, we have.
Samjae is this really fascinating part of Korean culture.
It is.
And it's a great example of how traditions continue to shape people's lives, even in, the 21st century.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's pretty amazing to think that something as seemingly simple as your birth year could potentially, have so much influence on your experiences.
I know. It's wild.
It really makes you think, right?
Yeah. It does make you wonder, how much is fate and how much is, our own choices.
And that's actually a great thought for all of our listeners out there to kind of ponder.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. This time into the world of Samjae. Hope you learned something new today.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe it'll spark your curiosity to go and learn even more about Korean culture.
Yeah.
Or even your own zodiac sign.
Awesome.
Well, until next time, happy exploring.
Happy exploring.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.